Growing up, one of the most influential things in my life was my involvement in sports. I began playing hockey when I was about 3 years old. Before I could barely even walk, I was already on ice skates. And, because of that, like many other kids growing up that played sports, I always idolized, the NHL players, our home team's best player. I always wanted to, emulate that and be that person when I got older, just like many other kids. And it wasn't until 2005 when a man by the name of Sidney Crosby was drafted first overall by the Pittsburgh Penguins. And my dad was basically like, hey, Crosby's in town. He's supposed to be pretty good, and we should go see the game. So, of course, we went to see it. And, ever since that game that we watched, his first time in New York at our home team's rink, I've idolized him ever since. We could go into the just stats alone on how he's just such an incredible hockey player. He's a 3-time Stanley Cup champion, 2-time playoff MVP, 3-time Ted Lindsay Award winner, 2-time league MVP. He's won 2 Art Ross trophies, which is the player with the most points in a league in one season. He's won 2 Maurice Rocket Richard trophies, which is the most goals scored in a season, and he's won 1 Mark Messier Leadership Award. And, those stats are obviously incredible, but the one that makes me admire Sidney Crosby the most and idolized him the most growing up is that last award that I said, the Mark Messier Leadership Award. Sidney Crosby has always been known as just being one of the best leaders in the National Hockey League. And that started from just about the day he stepped into the league. He is actually the youngest player to ever become captain of an NHL hockey team. He was named captain of the Pittsburgh Penguins in his second season, and he was only 19 years old, which is unfathomable to think that, you have veterans on the team and this 19-year-old has such, charisma behind him that he's able to lead the team as their captain and, go on to win multiple Stanley Cups in leading them. And that's the main thing that makes me admire him so much, is that he was a first overall pick, and with all that skill and talent, a lot of people that you see nowadays that have all that skill end up wasting it because they get caught up in all the other things. But that's something that Sidney Crosby has never done. He's just an incredible role model. You never hear about anything bad in the news. He kind of stays to himself, works on his craft, keeps his team motivated, and he's always incredibly humble in all interviews and whatnot. And so because of that, Sidney Crosby is really the person that I admired the most growing up. And he actually did have a very impactful role in my life. Because like I said, hockey and sports were such a big part of my life that I use Sidney Crosby, as a kind of role model and wanted to emulate himself in myself. And because of that, it was very impactful, just his impact on me growing up. And that's why when I saw the prompt for this on someone you admire, he was the first person that came to mind, and will probably always be the first person that comes to mind for those reasons.